Hey guys, how you all doing? And welcome back to another video of my drawing process, pretty much. So this week we're going to be working on a VTuber fan art of Sain, S-A-I-N, pretty much. So the VTuber's like complexity of the design was like a wild trip in itself, and this was part of a raffle that I did about last week, and people wanted to see this character done first, so that's what we're going to be working on. And then the next VTuber fan art that I'm going to be doing pretty much on stream. So this is the one that's just like 100% done for YouTube, but it don't mean I'm going to stop doing this when I come back for streaming. So this is like kind of the start of a new process to making these videos. So I'm just recording my streams and then upload them. So let's go ahead and get started on that. So pretty much, oh, there's my hand. Forgot to take them down. So pretty much I got this sketch pretty much placed for me to kind of get started to doing the recording. It did take me a while to get the sketch to look the way how I wanted it to look. This character was pretty difficult. It definitely took a lot of time to get this done within 1 week, but it's definitely worth it how it turned out. So pretty much trying to somewhat finish up the sketch slash finalizing it pretty much for me to work on the line art. So getting all the little fun details that is on this character pretty much, and as well just kind of get some plans pretty much in place how I wanted to make it look while making this. So the difficult part was trying to do some little bit of like fun changes so I can kind of like have a little bit of a fun time making the design and everything. So there's some like features on here that you don't see on the character, or but it was fun to work on this one and just kind of let loose and make this whole process. Now the hair of this character took me a lot. That's probably the longest part of the whole thing right here. It's that hair, and you guys are going to be seeing it here not for long. So there's things I had to do a little bit different, which you don't really see me do a whole lot on like streams or just pieces in general. And she's got this I don't know, glasses, but binoculars, but not binoculars. I can't speak today. So it's like goggles, pretty much. Not really sure if they're like glasses or not, but I had to pretty much put the goggles into like a whole separate like folder to make it, because like later on it needs to be the lens mainly. It needs to be on top of the line, not just the colors but the line art as well, which you'll see that here not for long. But doing the line on this was a ball to do. I don't know why, I just love doing the line art more than anything. And just like a lot of different techniques that I don't really do a whole lot on streams or just recordings in general, which is just really fun to do. Now getting started with the eyelashes, and try to be somewhat close to the original design, so it was a little challenge trying to get kind of started. because there's some changes I have to do with the face of the character, which you'll see here in a little while. Something I haven't really done on the eyes, which I should have been doing before, but I always forget. So like your pupil, when you look at like an eye or everything, the pupils are not like up front, but it's kind of a little bit farther back in your eyes. So when a character's head is tilted, or head turning in a certain direction, that pupil is actually kind of like deeper in. So I ended up making those pupils a little bit further back on the right side of the face. That's something I should have been doing to begin with, but I always forget. It's like there's a lot of steps I have to do on these pieces. Sometimes I'll end up forgetting about them just on the spot, especially if I'm on a time crunch. Had to do a lot of adjustments when it comes to her chest, because like there's a couple times like when I look at it, it's just a little bit not angled correctly. So there's just little like corrections I had to do, and now we're getting to the details of the hair, which that is the most intense part of the whole picture. So pretty much like where's my high end? There you are. There you are. Oop. Why are you? Don't usually do that. Actually lock it. So pretty much all of these details of this hair is what took the longest more than anything. But it's like once I was finished doing all that, it's just, I don't know, it's satisfying to do all these lines on the hair to make the details. So there's quite a few times that I probably went a little bit too much. I don't know, I just followed the flow of the whole process and just kind of just go with the flow pretty much. Alright, so now we just go ahead and get the background darkened up so it makes it a little easier to see all the grays that are like on the outside of the line art and everything. It just makes it easier to do the gray scaling. And then here we go. All of these grays, you gotta be doing it like all over the hair, literally. Keep forgetting to turn the there you go. I'm not a pro at this stream and these video recordings, so bear with me. But it's like, it's satisfying to do, but it is like rough to do at the same time. But when you see all those the grays on the hair and everything, and pretty much all the gray scaling done, it is fun to look at. It's just amazing how the iPad is holding up, doing all this work to this character. So pretty much we got done with the first gradient of the grayscaling. Now we're pretty much doing like the darker gradient, which is like the kind of like the final stage. That just gives a little bit more depth to the hair to kind of make it look a little bit realistic, look a little bit more detailed and realistic. But this is like the satisfying part right here, pretty much. Seeing like the grayscaling being pretty much finally finished, and just happy as turned out. Because once I finish all of it, I ended up sitting down for a little bit, just kind of looking at it and everything for a while. Make sure I'm not forgetting anything that needs to get erased. Especially there's a couple times I thought I was done, but I forget to do a part or something. Excuse me. Sorry, I'm not chatting right now. I'm just having fun looking at this recording. It is a lot of fun to look at. But yeah, like, it took me about... probably 3 hours to work on. Not, you know, from start to finish, but, you know, in parts, taking breaks. And there, the hair is, like, finally finished coloring, which I'm happy how the colors look. It's very close to the design of the Vtuber. But it's like, once you finish the hair of these characters, it just feels like you're a big step closer to finish. So just pretty much same steps as the care. First stages of the grayscaling, pretty much like a bright tone, bright grays pretty much. And then when we get into the second stage, it's a little bit more of the darker grays for helping out for more details, or the more shinier colors. Not really shinier colors, but more like deeper tones to make it look like the metal is a little bit more shiny chrome effect in a way. And pretty much like the small details, so like, you know, creases and all the, like, the small parts that are like usually more darker in color, if I explained it kind of correctly. But it helps out with the final details and everything. So yeah, it's just, it's the same process as I do with the hair, literally. And pretty much like these little diamond looking things on the chest and the, I don't know, hairpiece. But there's three of those diamonds that are kind of like a blue. They don't look like they're like illuminate. Don't look a little bit. It don't look like it's luminescent. So just a little bit of fun altercations to do with those little diamonds, which you'll see in a bit. So pretty, yeah, like similar like the techniques that I do with the automotive pieces when I make it like body paint, you know, anywhere from the body and chrome to kind of make it look like it's shiny pretty much. It's a lot of work, but it's definitely nice to see it finally finished pretty much. It's like if you get, once you get used to a pattern to make your artworks, you will learn you learn a lot quicker pretty much. So pretty much making the areas a little bit more darker. It's not like shadowing, but it's more like the darker skin tones, the clothes, and all that jazz. It's like, this design of this character is a lot of fun to work on, just in general. Yeah, once they got into the more like the finalization of like the details and everything, that's when I just like spent a little bit too much time playing around. But it's like once you are enjoying how the piece turned out, you just it's just fun to kind of just experiment with some ideas. Yeah, I forgot about the part of those headphones. There's like little white, like boxes on the headphones, so ended up getting that added in before I forgot it. Now we're getting to the more like getting everything colored in, get the base colors in before I start doing the shadowing. And then we got the mesh? No. I forget what the term is for that. But you've seen like the actual reference of the character. It's kind of like a, I guess the best way to example is like a pantyhose kind of look or material. And then when I seen the eyes are just pretty much brown, add a little bit of oomph to the details of the eyes. So once I finished up doing the grayscaling on the eyes, I did a little bit of oranges mixed in a little bit. So it's not just, you know, straight up brown. And did some changes to the skin tones because I wasn't really happy how the skin color was. It just didn't feel like it matched with the character very well. And that's what's difficult about doing skin tones. It's a little bit of adjustment sometimes throws you off. Now we're into pretty much like the last big part of the whole thing is the shadowing, and we're in that final like big step of the whole process. And as you can see, like the past pieces I done, they're like more like starting last year, and then now I stopped doing like blacks and grays for shadowing. Sometimes it just makes the character makes it kind of look a little bit muddy in a way. So I started adding a little bit like a beige, dark beige color, and then, you know, the darker parts of the shadow is like this dark blue. It just really changes the look. And then pretty much gets things started with the glasses. As you see, pretty much like I mentioned like earlier on the stream, gotta have to make these goggles to be pretty much on top of the line art as well, to be able to give that look and everything and do the effects. And I gotta tell you, it's a lot of work to do the shadowing for the hair. But yeah, I'm stoked how it turned out. It's like the time I was done last night, it was about 3 AM. Because like I plan on getting this uploaded to YouTube today and doing the unveiling today as well. Because it pretty much are gonna have like one day off, which is tomorrow. And then I gotta think of what else to work on for the new week. With someone recommend, so I got somebody that recommend if I do like a, what's the character from Persona, from the Persona games. But it's like, so that's pretty much the plan for next week. But for the next VTuber I'll be working on, it's gonna be on Kick again. This is kind of like a, during my break, I just try to focus on getting things planned out for doing YouTube recordings, so when I come back and stream in, at least I got a plan for that. Wasn't happy where the placement of the mouth was, so I ended up correcting everything and get everything kind of changed. And then she has these little like blue lights on the eyes, which it took me a little bit to figure out how I wanted to look. But that's like one of the more fun details. So we're in that spot right now. Again, the final look of the character, pretty much the blush and the lighting of the skin tones and all the metal parts. So this is where pretty much it's starting to have a little bit of fun and experiment a lot of ideas too. Pretty much like my favorite part of the final process. The little power logo or the power button logo or something. And it's like here since the last piece I did from last week, it's the first time I actually be able to make the pieces done, get the pieces made from start to finish right on Clip Studio. It took me a little bit to figure out to get the luminance of the hair without using Procreate. Now the fun details are now coming in. So the goggles, I just made it look like it's like a visor in a way, so all the information's on the goggles itself, which it's a lot of fun to work on. And do the fun little details of the final cut of the final details of the luminance, which I'm surprised how well it turned out on Clip Studio. In ways it made it better in a way. And this is being done 100% on Clip Studio. Again, the hair strain's done, which that was a lot of an interesting task, but made it a lot easier on Clip Studio. Then the background, just had a lot of fun doing effects and everything. So here we go. That's what the piece looks like when it's finished. It didn't show up on the recording, but I actually, that little shadowing effect that I did behind the character, I turn on add glow layer mask on it, and it is really cool how that turned out. There's a couple things that I did forget to do. So like the shadowing on the mic of the headset needs a little bit more of a shadow on that spot, which that won't be much of a problem to add in. But for the time being, this is what it looks like when it's finished. So I appreciate you guys hanging out through the video. And if you like my content, do a subscribe for more content like this. So for the next piece that I'm going to be planning on doing is a character from Persona. I don't remember the name of the character, but you'll see updates on my social media. So if you follow me on Facebook, Instagram, X, and Blue Sky under MadWorldImages, you get those updates from there. But for the time being, this is where I'm going to end the video at. So thank you so much for hanging out and watching the whole thing, and get subscribed for more videos like this. Have an awesome night, guys. See ya.